And we're live. What's up, everyone? There's no one currently on. I'm sure people will join here soon. And if you're catching the replay, you understand why I'm talking to myself about no one being here. But first things first, I want to say thank you to everyone that's reached out. And I apologize. I bit the shit out of the back sides of my tongue. So whenever I talk, it rubs against it, and I have like this lisp, and like it kind of hurts to speak. So I've been rescheduling calls for the week and doing my best to take care of my clients and everything. And I know I'm being told, oh, just relax, take time off. But like the thing is, I feel great, and I am relaxing to a degree, but I also want to be productive, because if I'm not productive, if I'm just sitting, I go stir crazy and I feel good. So besides this like weird talk and like thing I'm doing with my mouth to control my tongue, I feel fine. I feel great, actually. But I just wanted to say thank you for all the love and the support. Everyone that's reached out, checked on me, and I've done my best to make sure people understand. It happened over the weekend. I didn't feel any kind of pain. The podcast we just put out today has Jackie's perspective of what was going on and then my perspective. And it was such an odd thing because I didn't feel pain. I didn't feel fear. I actually thought I was waking up, but I didn't see anything but black. And then I thought, like, the way I explained it was I was disassociated from my body, like a deep meditative state or something like that. And it was like my brain was perceiving that my body was like shaking out of control. And I explained it like my brain was like scrambling or malfunctioning, almost like it was like spinning like that. And as I noticed that, and I couldn't see anything. As I noticed that, I was like, am I having a seizure? And then at that moment, it just started amplifying to the point where I think I was perceiving my body going into shock and like just tensing as it was shaking and convulsing. And it felt like my head was going like this and turning as slowly as my brain was just kind of going like this. And then I blacked out. But I was released from the hospital about 12 hours later, and besides the back sides of my tongue being bit, thankfully I didn't bite my tongue off. I feel great, and I'm able to speak. I'm able to comprehend things, and I don't have any long-term effects. And I'm just waiting on the next steps from my surgeon and my oncologist at Duke and Boston, because the MRI showed that there was some growth in the masses in the front of my brain, the prefrontal the frontal lobe. And so, I don't know, there's a lot of, mystery as to why in 11 years since I've been dealing with brain tumors, I had a seizure now, and I don't ride anymore. But back when I was competing in like X Games, something like that, backflipping and spinning, and the mass was like that big, I didn't have seizures then. So I'm really interested to see what they find and what we're going to do moving forward. But I'm just trying to use this experience to just share perspective with people about how things could be worse. I'm grateful to be alive. I know a lot of people deal with seizures on a daily basis, and it's not something that I can even fully comprehend. But ultimately, the intention with doing this live was just to say thank you to everyone for reaching out. I explain why I'm talking so weird and so funny, which is probably the most minuscule thing to be addressing right now. But I just really want people to take from this, just like to understand how we have no control in our lives. And the moment we accept that and we just try to focus on how we can align our actions with the vision we have in our mind, things like this just come and go, and it's just a natural part of life. And for me, it's just another day in my shoes, like living with brain tumors, have had surgery, had gamma knife, had multiple traumatic brain injuries, and so on and so forth. It's just another thing that happened, and it's just it's an interesting ride as a human being, and to be in my shoes, it's also interesting. But I wouldn't change anything. Obviously, as a human being, a conscious human being, I'd say, I'd rather not deal with these things. But at the same time, it's opened my eyes to a lot of different avenues of life. It's allowed me to look at life differently, provide value to other people. And I'm grateful for that. And it's put me on the path of who I am today and what I aspire to do. And for those joining in, I was just talking about why I'm talking funny, because when I was going through the seizure, I guess I bit down the back sides of my tongue. I have all my molars because my wisdom teeth grew in straight because I had braces when I was younger. So I was very fortunate not to have the back molars pulled. But the consequence of that is I bite my cheek every now and then on accident when chewing. And in this case, having a seizure, I bit the shit out of the sides of my tongue. And I won't show you guys, but I posted some photos from the other day. It looks a little different now. But that's why I'm talking funny, because it keeps rubbing on my teeth. But I ultimately just want to say thank you to everyone reaching out, sharing their love, their support, their kind words. It means a lot to me, and I just use this as another example of how we can choose to move forward in life. We can't control what happens, but we can, to a degree, control how we respond, and I'm trying to do the best I can with trying to share that, not preach it, but just walk my talk. And I am talking a little funny right now because the damage to my tongue, which the worst thing that happened after having a seizure in my sleep was my tongue being a little messed up from biting it. I'll take it. My cognitive abilities are there. I've actually been sleeping better since the seizure than years prior. And I almost think it was like a reset of my brain. And now I'm like able to sleep throughout the night and not wake up much time. So it's really interesting. But, so next steps, I'm waiting for my surgeon at Duke and my gamma knife radio oncologist, whatever the proper terminology is for him, at Boston in Boston at Tufts Medical Center. The MRI showed some growth of the tumors in the frontal lobe area. And just trying to take it one step at a time, see what they say, see what next steps are, just like I've treated everything else in my past, just like an injury. When can I get back to doing what I want to do? What do I got to do to get that to get to that point? And ultimately, how can I share this stuff with other people so they can be informed, they can be empowered? And at the end of the day, I'm still a believer that we choose how to respond to things, and I'm working towards a very specific vision in my mind, and this is just a little speed bump, and things could always be worse. And I know I have a lot of friends that have been battling seizures for years, and for 11 years to be going through what I've gone through with my brain, from surgery to tumors to radiation to TBIs, and to this to be my first seizure, and to be in my sleep, and for me to be aware. The weirdest thing was I was aware of it happening and progressing, and then I thought, am I having a seizure? And it's such an interesting space to be in, with like observing that, being disassociated from your body, but not being able to do anything about it. Like I just literally was just like hanging on for the ride until it got so intense that I just blacked out. I don't know if that's because my brain couldn't handle what it was perceiving or interpreting from the experience, or I don't know. But I do know I'm thankful Jackie was there and found me. I'm thankful I'm alive and well. I'm thankful for all the love and support. And I encourage you guys to go check out the podcast. It's on my YouTube channel. It's on my on any podcast platform. Jackie just sharing from her experience, what she was witnessing, her training, because it wasn't her first seizure that she's been around. And, thankfully she's got a medical background. And then just what I went through. And, like I said, if my tongue being bit and me talking funny is the only negative to come from this experience, I'll take it all day. I decided to take the week off from working out, just wanted to relax. I rescheduled a bunch of calls, but I did bowl a little bit last night and bowled fine. Neurologist said, no reason to not do anything like you normally would. So I just kind of relaxing a little bit this week, and just getting some downtime, and just taking one step at a time. And I was gonna say something, I forgot what I was gonna say, but I appreciate everyone. And if I would encourage you guys to check out the podcast of Jackie and I just talking about it. And if you guys have questions, if you have experiences you want to share, I'd love to hear from you guys. And as always, I don't know if this is backwards, but be the change you want to see. We can't control what happens in life. We can't control the outcomes we want and the goals that we're working towards and them happening or not, but we can control, or to a degree, we increase the probability of having the life we want when we focus on it. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. But again, I appreciate you guys. And let me go through, I think there's some comments in here. Yeah, just keep your head up. I mean, it's so interesting because, I've been on this journey 11 years going through what I've been going through with my brain. And it's very common for people to say, you're inspiring, you're motivating, you're so positive, and, like all these things, which are great. And I really appreciate it. But I just see it as like, this is my life. I'm working towards something. Complaining, playing small, being the victim, which I've done all those things in the past, it doesn't do me any good. And this is my personal perspective and the message I try to share. It's like, here's some information. I have a responsibility for the life I want, of what I do with that information, and I'm going to share what I believe and what helps me. And, there's no right or wrong. I don't really believe in right or wrong in life. I just believe there's choices and there's, experiences. So you just figure out what experiences you want to have and what experiences or what choices to make that are going to give you those experiences. And that's all I'm doing. So as much as I love, the positive feedback and the support, I also want people to understand that I'm no different than you. I'm no different than anyone. I'm a human being, and I just choose the perspective I have that shit could always be worse. I look up to other people I see doing things that I want to do in life, and I see how I can model their behavior, their thought processes that make them successful as I see them. And that's what I try to do. And so, again, I appreciate the love and support, and I want people to understand that I'm sharing so much of my life because I believe we all have the ability to experience life the way we want. It's just a matter of looking at it from different perspectives and, making some different choices and being patient and letting go of control. So I'm going to go rest my mouth because my tongue is starting to hurt and I feel like I'm talking more and more funny. But I appreciate you guys, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.